I remember seeing the trailer of this film a few months ago, and when I saw it, I was like, this feels like an Indian version of John Wick because of the things that was portrayed in the trailer. Like, I'm sure anyone that saw the trailer also had that kind of imagination about it. But when I saw this film, like, it felt like something of its own. It felt like it had its own identity. It didn't feel like something that we've seen before, although it is like something we've seen before. But it had a kind of identity and inventiveness to it that I probably have not seen before. And it was something that made me change my opinion about it, thinking of something like John Wick. Yes, they have similar elements, but man, this film is his own thing. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. In this video, I want to talk about Monkey Man. Monkey Man follows the story of a man that is seeking revenge for the death of his mother by some um, people in power, basically. People in power that are victimizing the citizens of a city and wants to get vengeance for his mother. I'm probably butchering the description of it, but basically that's what the story is about. And this film was directed by Dev Patel, and this is his directorial debut. I'm sure we have seen Dev Patel in some movies before. I remember seeing him in Slumdog Millionaire, Chappie, The Green Knight, movies like that, and he gave fantastic performances in those films. And seeing him in this film, seeing him directing his own film was something that I did not expect to see, but it was a joy to witness. There are a lot of things to love about this film. I mean, it's not a perfect film, but it did a lot of things right. And the fact that it is from a first time director is something that just puts it on a much higher level. Like, you can put this film on the same level with other films that was directed by a first time director. Films like American Fiction, Kurt Jefferson directed that one, first time director. Creed Part 3 was directed by Michael B. Jordan, another first time director. And now Dev Patel in this one too, first time director. And this film was just wow. I loved watching it. Like, I didn't love everything about it because if I start thinking about it, there's some elements in it that did not really connect with me. For instance, there was this thing of mythology and culture that was surrounding this character, this monkey man character. And I don't know, I felt like they did not hit it as hard as they could have. And that mythology thing did not resonate much with me. So when all those aspects were going on, I felt kind of disconnected with it because it didn't click with me. And that is one part of it that I felt like could have been better. And this film is a revenge flick. And when you watch a revenge flick, you expect to see some action and some violence. And man, this film delivers on that. The action sequences were crazy. Like, it's not action, 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 action. There are moments of quiet switch that just makes you reflect on the characters and their decisions and their journeys and all that. But when the action sequences come, the action sequences are wow. I had small issue with the action sequences, but I also enjoyed it so much. Most of the time, the action sequences were shot in like a long take. That means the camera is just moving around. The camera is not cutting. You are seeing everything you want to see clearly. You can see all the actions. You can see the punches landing. You can see the blood splashing. You can see the teeth. You can see characters' teeth flying out. I'm just exaggerating about the last part, but you can just see everything that's happening vividly. And those parts of the action sequences I love because yes, this is what I want to see in an action film. I want to see the action very vividly, and I love those aspects of it. But there's some other parts of the action sequences that were not as visible because you see the camera just shaking and moving all over the place, and you can't really see what is happening. There was a part in this film that someone threw a punch. Like, I did not even see the punch coming. I just know that it felt the impact of the punch. So like those parts, I did not see what was happening. The camera was just shaking all over the place, and it did not let those action sequences, those parts of the action sequences land very well. It almost felt like two different cinematographers shot the action sequences. One shot the one that is long take and the one that is vividly, and the other person shot the ones that are just chaotic and you barely see the action. So those parts that were very chaotic and the parts that I could not see the action sequences, I didn't like them because I want to see all the action and I didn't like those parts. But fortunately, there are some other parts that complemented it. But I just wish all of the action sequences could have been shot the long takeaway. And speaking of the action sequences, the way this main character fights, the way this monkey man guy fights, he fights in a very, very inventive way. Like, I'm sure we've seen a lot of action films before. And if you've seen so many action films, you can already tell the kind of things that he would do. But these people still manage to bring up some kind of fighting that I never thought I would see before. Like, this guy just fights with all his body and fights some kind of way that I've not seen. And it's just something that made me like, wow, this guy is crazy. And it just added to my enjoyment of the film. Man, those action sequences, the way they were inventive, was something that I loved so much. I just wish the shaky cams didn't happen as frequently as it did. And I can't talk about this film without talking about Dev Patel's performance. Dev Patel's performance in this film was wow. He had this kind of subtle range with his character, and he played it in a very intense yet not so intense way. Like, I don't know if I'm making sense, but that's why it came up to me, because you could feel that this guy was holding up a lot of things in him. He's holding up a lot of rage in him, but it's not a kind of explosive rage. Although it explodes sometimes, but it's just very subtle. But you always see the rage behind his eyes, and his performance just conveys that so brilliantly. And the fact that he still directed this film while giving fantastic performance, man, that's just wow. So something to build, and it just made me enjoy this film so much. And the music, the kind of music they used in this film was just some very, very unexpected choices. Honestly, that's the best way I can put it. Because you see the music that they play in some scenes, and you're like, wow, you wouldn't think songs like that would work with the situations that they were used in, but it works, and it was just unexpected, and it made me appreciate the choices that the directors made. And the editing style, it had this very, very stylish editing. That's the best way I can put it, honestly. Very, very stylish. Like, you see a lot of things that add some pepper, some ginger to the editing and to the film overall. And man, all those aspects were done right. Overall, this film was a very interesting film. It had fantastic action sequences, great use of music, stylish editing, good performances, and so many other things that came to work brilliantly with this film. And the fact that it was made by a first time director is just the icing on the cake. And man, if you've not seen Monkey Man and you like explosive action sequences, violent, gritty action sequences, man, you should watch this one. You would love it. So have you seen Monkey Man? What do you think about it? Comment below and let me know. If this is your first time on my channel, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel for more contents like this. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Cheers.